Hi, Doula Manda here again. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 fears you might have in homeschooling and how to overcome them. And this is a huge topic. I could go on for so long. I could probably make part 1, 2, and 3 of this video, and I probably will. But today we'll just start with the top 5 that I hear most often, and with one bonus one at the end. So stay tuned for that one. So the number 1 I hear all the time is I'm not patient enough. So I have to laugh a little bit at this one because if you ask my kids, they will tell you that I am not always patient. I don't always just keep my temper. I sometimes snap at them. I'm not always patient. If patience was a requisite to being a parent, none of us would qualify to being a parent. There are measures you can put in place to help you mitigate losing your patience. For example, maybe have a designated stop time every day, whether that's noon or 3 or dinner or whatever it is. But before the end of your rope, homeschool is done, so you don't have to worry about it. Or maybe you're more patient in the morning, so try to do everything in the morning. Or maybe morning is just grumpy time for you. You don't like it, so don't do any kind of formal schoolwork in the morning and do it all in the afternoon and evening. Or maybe save one subject to the very end of the day when you're more relaxed and calm, like reading. And you and your children can read together in the evening just nicely and not have to worry about all the other demands and cares of the day. So you don't have to be perfectly patient. You don't need to put that undue stress and worry on yourself, but there are ways to mitigate that. The second one is I'm not organized enough. And again, that's my biggest weakness. I am not an organized person. I can't tell you which day of the week I'm going to post these videos because I don't know yet. That's not my strength. And if I try to make myself do something on a strict schedule, I end up just hating it and bailing out pretty quick. I need to work on that for sure, but it's not one of my strengths. Some people though, they love being organized. They love really meticulous planners, and I love that for them. And if that's you, I love that for you, and I congratulate you, and I lean into that. Use that strength that you have. Use your planner system. Use your big whiteboard on the wall with everything in the world written on it. I love that. If that's not you though, that's fine. It doesn't have to be you. Some people, including myself sometimes, we throw our hands up in the air and say, you know what, we're gonna learn something today, but I don't know what it is yet. Isn't that exciting? So you can go with that attitude, or you can have your strict, I will do 1, 2, and 3, and 4 every day. But it doesn't have to be that way. You absolutely do not need to be super organized unless you want to. Sometimes I write down what we did at the end of the day, simply so I can check it off and tell myself, look, I'm doing a good job. We did stuff today. See, look, I wrote it down after the fact. Look at all the stuff we did. If I wrote it down at the beginning of the morning and I didn't get to it all, I'd feel like a failure. But if I write it down at the end of the day, I feel so like such a success. It's a great way to turn it around. So number 3 is, how do I even know that my kids are learning? How do I even know? Formal tests are not the only way to gauge a child's learning. Children are always learning. If you are reading books together, if you're talking about things together, if you are checking books out of the library together, if you're watching interesting shows together that spark conversation, they're learning. If you want to do formal tests, go for it. We like to do formal tests with My Tech High, but it's not the end all for anything. Some children do really well on tests, some don't, even though you know that they learned and they know the material. They just get really anxious at tests, so it doesn't accurately measure what they actually know. So don't put all your stock in what tests say, and just have faith that your child is learning. They are doing stuff. If you are helping your child and if they are moving forward, they will surprise you with what pops out of their mouth some days and what Like, man, I didn't even know you're paying attention to me. I didn't know you knew that. Number 4 is, am I qualified to teach? Even if you are not a college graduate or a master's or even a high school graduate, if you have a willingness to learn and help your child learn, then you can homeschool. If you change your mindset more from like formal teacher and learner to side by side learning together, or you can facilitate the learning, or you can be the guide and they can be the explorer. If you can create an environment where learning can happen, that is what you need, and that will make you so you're the most successful. Creating an environment to learn can mean going to the library frequently, or finding online courses for them, or using Google. It is helping connect them to resources in the community and online and different curriculums. As long as you have the desire to learn and they have the desire to learn, you can help them learn. And the last one, I've heard from so many people, and it makes my heart is a little bit sad of, what if I fail my child? And I feel that too. I think all parents have this this worry that we have that we're going to fail our children somehow. I think that's a universal parent thing, not specific to homeschooling. As a wise woman, my mother-in-law once said, you're not going to ruin their lives by insert your specific category here, by parenting them or by homeschooling them or by whatever you're doing as an adult. You're not going to ruin their lives by that. You're going to ruin their lives by cutting their pancakes wrong. And their lives are going to be ruined. And if you have a toddler, you'll understand. My toddlers are certainly like that. They will forgive you though, and they will move on. And if they have difficulties in their life, they will be adults and they will have their own responsibilities, and it is not up to you to create and mold their life exactly the way you want it to. At some point they will do it on their own, and we will just have to love them and congratulate them and support them on their journey, knowing that we did the best we could to give them a solid foundation in their growing up years. And I believe that homeschooling is one of the best ways we can do that, giving them lots of time at home where they are surrounded by love and compassion and surrounded by the love of learning and the joy of discovering. So no, I don't think you can fail your child by homeschooling them. If you love them and are trying your best to do whatever you can and whatever they need from you, then you will be fine. And the honorable mention, which I'm not going to touch on a whole lot today, how do I find the best curriculum? I'll be doing a whole video on this eventually, but don't be afraid to try out a few different curriculums and ditch one if it isn't working for your particular child. Don't be married to a specific curriculum. Be willing to change if you need to. There are different styles of curriculum, and if you can find which style works best for your teaching style and your child's learning style, you can narrow down your curriculum to that specific style. And again, I'll talk way more about this on a different date. Don't buy the entire set of curriculum at the very beginning without trying it out first, because you might buy 5 years worth of curriculum and then decide within a few months that it's not going to work for you and then be out for that. So see if you can borrow a book first, or photocopy a few pages, or buy one cheap on your local buy-sell trade local homeschool group on Facebook. If it seems good, if the curriculum seems good, just buy 1 year at a time and then go from there, because your child's interests might change, your learning style might change, teaching style might change. You don't want to be out 5 years worth of curriculum. Check out my video on My Tech High if you're worried about curriculum costs and making homeschool affordable. You don't want to break the bank, but you do want to have quality curriculum and a quality experience for your children and for yourselves without having to DIY absolutely everything. So if I can find a way to link it here, I'll... Does that how people do it? I'll link it here. If not, that'll be funny. So what fears of homeschooling do you have? And what should I add in my part 2 of this series? Hope any of this was helpful. And if you have any more comments or questions, please post them below and I'll make sure to get to you. I love you all and I wish you the best of success on your homeschool journey. I know you can do it and I know you can move past these fears and I know you can create a loving, safe, secure haven for your children and for yourself in your home. And so there's your homeschool doula for this week and I'll see you next week.